World keeps going. Peter Devries of Champagne is on court. Peter Devries, $5,000. Champagne going everywhere. Yeah, let's hear it for him.
My name is Josie. My friends call me Restless. After getting married and having a child, I felt I had lost my adventurous spirit. I'm not one to sit idle, so I went in search of myself. I decided to add World Traveler to my job description, asking other people what makes them happy. Let's see what I find. Welcome to Restless Josie. We're here at Chesterman's Beach on a beautiful sunny day, and we're talking with Peter Devries, who just won the Rip Curl Stew. Hi, Peter.
Hi, how are you?
Good. I'd love to know what the day was like for you yesterday.
Yesterday was a really fun day. Actually, I was up super early checking the surf with my dog and getting ready for our heat first thing in the morning. And it turned out exactly how I wanted it to turn out.
It was almost a perfect day at Cox. We all were nervous about the swell, but it seemed to work out.
Yeah, the swell was actually pretty good over the weekend. A little bit too big for Cox Bay the first day on Saturday. Lots of paddling, hard to find good waves, but definitely decent conditions. And then yesterday was pretty good as well. It was, shoulder head high for the better part of the day, and clean offshore winds and totally rippable.
I really noticed that during the men's final, it seemed like there was a lot of pressure out there in the water to catch the best waves. Did you feel pressure?
Yeah, I mean, when you compete, you always feel pressure. You're there to perform and you've only got a certain amount of time to do so. We had half an hour, and with a high level of surfing going on and 4 guys that can win the heat, you've got to catch the best waves in order to get the chances to perform.
And they were 4 incredibly talented surfers. I thought they all surfed really well.
Yeah, Sepp was surfing really good. He's been really working at it lately, and he's improving a lot. So he's keeping me on my toes.
Well, I think you raised the bar by winning the Coldwater Classic, and then with your intersection win, you're on a real roll here. Do you feel like you can keep this momentum moving?
I hope so. I mean, that's the goal, always to keep improving. And if you enter something, you want to win, obviously. So that's the goal, to just keep improving, keep surfing, keep having fun.
I think that's the secret, isn't it, if you're having fun?
Yeah, that's key, right? You're never going to improve unless you're having fun at something. So I just really enjoy surfing, so it just keeps me wanting to get better.
So what kind of board were you using yesterday?
Yesterday I was using an XTR board, which is epoxy technology. They're really light and really buoyant, so they work well in kind of mushier waves with clean conditions. So they tend to carry a lot of speed. And my Shaper AKA has been making me some great boards lately. So. And
what size is that?
It was a 5'10", 18 1/4 by 2 1/8.
Excellent. And how did you feel? I remember seeing you do that aerial and just thinking, I wonder if at that moment after you pulled and you landed the air, did you think, oh, okay, now I've got some good momentum for the win?
Yeah, I mean, you always try and judge your waves when you're out there in a heat, and especially without live scoring like we've got in these local contests. Yes. It's hard to know where you're at in a heat. So I had that one wave at the beginning. I got 2 little snaps and then that air, so I figured that would be a fairly decent score, and then I had a couple other backups. But then when I got the good long left at the end, that's kind of when I thought I probably had it pretty sealed up.
It's interesting because I know Kelly Slater does the math while he's out there. I've heard interviews of him saying that, counting exactly his points. Do you do that?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, especially when you're in a heat, when you do have live scoring and you know what you need out there.
Yeah.
Say you get a 6 and another guy gets a 7. You've got to better his next wave by a point in order to kind of be even, or a 1.5 to be ahead. So you kind of work things out as you go.
I find it's almost a little bit of a meditative state when you can actually be doing that kind of stuff while you're surfing, because maybe it helps you relax. That's a good point, actually. It's when you get those lulls out there, you definitely have to stay calm, and that's kind of
not so much taking your mind off what you're doing, but not necessarily dwelling on needing the score is a really good way to stay relaxed. You just kind of keep calm and try and find the next wave.
So you grew up here in beautiful Tofino, and you've done incredibly well surfing here, and a lot of people talk about you surfing in your backyard. What are your plans for the future? Are there other places that you'd like to travel and surf, and do you think of joining some of the competitions elsewhere?
I'm not sure about competing really. I've done it off and on over the years, and I'm really into free surfing. That's kind of where my passion lies. I love shooting photos and video and going on trips to places that are uncrowded and just surfing with my friends and trying to improve. That's kind of the career path I want to follow.
That sounds like a great career path.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
So are you at your happiest when you're surfing?
Definitely. Surfing, helps with everything in life. I love it. It's great.
So one last question. How did you feel when you entered that intersection video contest and you had Kelly Slater notice your mad styles as a surfer?
That was a pretty great moment for me. Kelly and Taylor Steele and Thomas Campbell and all the guys writing in and saying they like my section. It was, good to hear.
I'm sure it was. They must have been people when you were growing up that you looked up to.
Oh, of course. I mean, every surfer at some point or another has looked up to Kelly Slater. He's been the best surfer for a long time. So 9 world titles, probably going on 10. He's pretty amazing.
Well, you've got all of Canada behind you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.